Welcome to Biology Made Easy. In this lesson, we are introducing population size or population growth. And we will first of all look at what is population growth and then the factors that determine it. I have here a diagram of an ecosystem. I have these individuals, these ones, and this one forms a species. This one forms another species. This one forms another species. Now, in the ecosystem, one would think that the organisms are just living all by themselves alone, but no. The organisms are interacting as a species. This as a species will be interacting. So this species interacting, they interact to interbreed, to produce new offsprings. And so as they interbreed and a species, then they form one population. This one too will form one population. This one will form one population. So we have three populations, and all the populations in the place form community. So the organisms are there as individuals, but in actual fact, they are interbreeding to produce new offsprings. All right? So as they produce new offsprings, their numbers, their size, population size, increases and grows. And so as the population size increases, growth occurs. And you know, the continuing existence of the species depends upon how the population increases in size and grows. Now, besides the population size that gives an indication of the population growth, there are other population factors. And the other population factors, we are looking at population distribution. So this population, how spread is it, also affects growth, because if the population is all in one place, interaction to interbreed will be different from if they are scattered. And then also another population factor is population density. How many of these are in a unit area will affect interbreeding and will affect population size and population growth. We also want to indicate that all organisms, the factors that determine the population sizes, the population growth, is the same in all organisms. Bacteria, fungi, plants is the same. So let's give ourselves a very quick definition of what a population is, population size and population growth, and then we can look at the factors. Definition of population: a group of individuals of the same species in a particular place at a particular time. Population size: the total numbers of individuals, the same species, particular time, given time, or particular time. See the difference? Population growth: the increase in the numbers of individuals, the same. Then population growth rate, the rate of increase in numbers of individuals of the same species in a particular place in a unit time, the same. So once you get this, you can easily be able to explain or define the rest. Now let's look at the factors that determine the population size and so the population growth. So the factors that determine population size and for that matter population growth, here we are. We have population growth. As population size increases, it brings about growth. So there's increase and then there's growth, and the factors that brings about population growth or increases is birth rate. I write just BR, fertility rate, or total fertility rate. We'll look at these. So birth rate increases, population growth increases. Then if population declines, it means the population size decreases, and it's by death rate or mortality rate. And if there's no growth, the population size remains the same, then it's zero growth. And what happens is that then is birth rate balances death rate. We don't want to forget that increases in population size and so increase in population growth is not only birth rate, but it's also immigration. Immigration means organisms moving into the environment. So increase in population size bringing about increase in population growth is birth rate or fertility rate or total fertility rate plus immigration. Population also declines as death rate increases or mortality rate, and then also emigration. Emigration means organisms leaving the environment. So in here we have plus immigration plus emigration, but we exclude that because we assume that immigration and emigration cancels out. And notice that when the population remains stable, there's no population growth, birth rate balances death rate. Well, these factors about birth rate and death rate has also these factors associated with it because you have birth rate, death rate, but you have these also factors that are associated with it that when they are taken into consideration that we get the real increase, stability or decline. So these are the other factors. You have infant mortality, pre-reproductive mortality, life expectancy, pre-reproductive age, reproductive age, post-reproductive age, doubling time. These are some of the important factors that go with birth rate and death rate, and the outcome of all these will then show that the population is increasing, the population has declined, or the population remains stable at zero. Now, all these terms, factors, and how they affect the population growth, we are going to discuss in detail in our next lesson. But it's not only these factors, these are the main factors, but there are other factors that go in to increase or decrease population sizes and population growth. And these are the factors. We have the other factors: food supply, diseases, interspecific competition, predation, territorial behavior. Now these are in because we are not dealing with human beings alone. We are looking at population size, population growth, factors of all organisms. So we have predation, territorial behavior, we have space, pollution, heat or cold, air, you need oxygen or carbon dioxide, sunlight, soil conditions. So we can say some are biotic factors, some are abiotic factors. They all go to affect birth rate and death rate, and to affect all these factors, infant mortality and all that, affect all that to come out with a resultant increase, stable or decline growth. We forgot to bring in here water supply. Water supply is also very important. This is our introduction into population size and population growth, what it is, and the factors that determine population growth. And in our next lesson, we will go into detail to explain what each of these factors are and how each of these factors affect population growth or population decline. So we'll meet in our next lesson. If this lesson has been useful, give us your likes, do kindly subscribe and tell us your comments. Thank you very much.